Play the star-studded game where knowledge is king and Lady Luck is queen.
Live from the 8-Bit studio in Brisbane, Australia, it's the internet's most exciting half hour of video game trivia. Welcome to the Hungry Game Show. And now, your humble host, Brandon White.
Hello to everyone out there in the 8-Bit Nation, and welcome to another episode of Game Show Inspired Shenanigans brought to you by Audio-Technica, Manscaped, and 8-Bit. And on this, the 16th episode of the Hungry Game Show, our competitor will be going up against a game that, leading up to its release, is pretty much not on anyone's radar. But upon its subsequent release, it received critical acclaim, sold an absolute bucket load of units, and often has been called the revolutionary of the current FPS genre. Developed by Rare, published by Nintendo, released on the 25th of August in 1997, we are talking about none other than Goldeneye 007, or Goldeneye 64 as some of you may know it out there. And the person attempting to stealth slap his way through this mixture of trivia, espionage and cocktails is a man who needs little introduction, but you're certainly going to give him one anyway. He's 1/3 of the Can't Game podcast, Ford Falcon fanatic, family man, self-proclaimed hopeless gamer, and working on something I'd like to know more about called DT Media. Find him on them socials at Tillhouse on Twitter or Tillhouse_ on them Instagrams. Nathan Tily, how the bloody hell are you going, man? Welcome.
G'day. How you going, man?
Mate, I am excited to be talking some Goldeneye with you today. When you sort of threw this game at me as your sort of combatant in the trivia arena, I was excited to go back and sort of unearth any factoids and things. I haven't played this game in it's easy 15 years, maybe more. Like, maybe I was a kid the last time I touched this, so it was nice nostalgic touchstone for me. But man, maybe give us a little bit of insight on yourself, and then maybe also lead us into why you picked this game and the memories you got with old Goldeneye 007.
Yeah, so as you said, yeah, one third of the Can't Game podcast, which is
He's coming back. It's been a long while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. On a bit of a unplanned hiatus at the moment. I mean, COVID certainly threw a whole lot into the mix, and then work schedules and everything. But yeah, I think it should be coming back fairly soon. And we do want to catch up because, you know, those three mates of all of us haven't caught up in a long while. So yeah, it'd be good. But yeah, other than that, DT Media, as you mentioned, was actually a bit of a offshoot of Can't Game podcast, so that was going to be our little base, almost like 8-Bit is to the Hungry Gamers. So yeah, it was stood for digital therapy. But
nice,
yeah.
I like that. I love me a good bit of wordplay, so yeah. I'm already in.
But yeah, other than that, man, just a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Mate, it's a pleasure to get you on here. I've been looking forward to getting you in the podcast and circle with me for a while, and it seems that it lined up nicely here with this Hungry Game Show episode 16. So Goldeneye 007 came out when I was 11 years old. You know, it was a youngin'. I played the absolute bejesus out of it via my friend's Nintendo 64, local co-op, and all that kind of crazy hilarity that ensued. But what's your origin story with this game, man?
Yeah, it's really showing our age. I think I was 9 when I got it. I think I got it for Christmas in 97. Either 97 or 98, I can't really remember. But yeah, man, I played the absolute bejesus out of it too. And it's been a while since I've played it as well. And funny story, it's the only N64 game I've got left as a cartridge because one of my old schoolmates borrowed, and I put heavy quotation marks on that, borrowed my N64 and all my games except for 007. And yeah, I actually have it up on the shelf there. So.
I can see it there. Yeah, it's at the back. I just noticed little Pierce Brosnan's head peeking over the shelf there at me.
Yeah, I thought I'd put it up there just to give me a bit of good luck because, yeah, I'm purely going off memory on this because, I mean, I played the emulator for the main story, but outside of that, it's all going off memory. So hopefully the memory bank serves me well.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, I've had sort of similar stories from a lot of the other contestants that have jumped on here, and they might not have played the game recently or to any massive level of replay, but yeah, that muscle memory and just those little nostalgic touchstones seem to just bring it all back to the front. So I think you'll be okay. And like, we get deep here and there's a couple of curly questions thrown in, but for the most part, it's pretty surface level stuff. We just want to have some fun and a laugh and maybe learn a thing or two. So, yeah, I think it'll be fine. But if you do feel you are struggling, we do have 2 lifelines available for you in the back pocket. Bearing in mind that using a lifeline, you will limit your maximum scoring potential. And what that means is that the show is broken up into 2 segments. We've got a multiple choice round to start with, where you get a maximum of 2 points per correct answer. And then there's rapid fire, which is 1 point per correct answer. So if you use a lifeline during multiple choice, maximum 1 point, but you will still get the maximum 1 point for rapid fire. And those are lifelines. We've got Phone My Friend.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm going to call a random person from within my contacts list for support and assistance. Obviously, support and or assistance may vary. There's no guarantee that they've played this game, played any game, know what a game is. It could be really beneficial or it could be very detrimental, but they're there to help in their own unique way. And then the other one we've got is 50-50, or if it's in rapid fire, it's going to be like a strong hint because, we can't really cut incorrect answers out of the rapid fire. So
I do like a strong hint, though. Yeah.
Mate, I can certainly give you the strongest of hints today. So, don't worry about that. But yeah, so you've got those 2 lifelines. You can utilize both of them, one of them, none of them. Completely up to you. If you need to use it, just shout out and we can get that going. But man, you got any other questions, comments, concern before maybe we start getting things underway?
I don't think so, man. But hey, one question. Do we get bonus points if we don't use the lifelines?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. if you don't use them, maybe...
I have a feeling I'm going to need them.
Give you one.
Oh.
I'll give you one, yeah. Yeah, I can't say 2 because that would cancel out utilizing them anyway. But I'll give you something. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. We'll follow up at the end.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get.
It's pretty fast and loose around here. So those rules are written in wet cement. So we can adjust when we need to. But you're gunning for a maximum total score at the moment of 40. So the whole episode's ran out of a score of 40. Current leader Dane Peavy, who's actually his birthday today. So happy birthday, Mr. Peavy.
Happy birthday, Mr. Peavy. Yeah.
He is top of the trivia mountain on 37 points. So that's the highest echelon at the moment as far as THGS. And at the arse end of it, we've got Salim the Dream on 21 points. So no one has, I guess you could say, failed. No one scored under 20, which would be your 50%. But that's the sort of gamut you've got to play in between here, 21 and 37. So you can land anywhere in there and you will not be last.
Nice.
So,
well, I don't want to knock Dane off the top of the list because he's one of the nicest guys. So I think I'll be gunning for Salim's spot, I reckon.
Oh, I reckon you do Salim's spot in your sleep, but mate, don't feel bad if you knock Dane off the top. We'll keep him humble and get him hungrier for the next wave.
Maybe a comeback.
That's it. All right, let's start off with a little bit of background tension music to set the scene. Question number 1. Developed by Rare and based on the Goldeneye film, how long after the movie was released in cinemas did Goldeneye 007 take to be released on, the Nintendo 64? A, 0.07 days, B, 1 month, C, 6 months, or D, 2 years?
Well, 007 Goldeneye is one of my favourite movies, and that was released in 95, so I'm going to have to lock in D, 2 years.
Oh, okay. Confident locking in D, 2 years?
2 years. Lock it in.
Let's consult. Mate, you are well on your way, currently batting 100. So yeah, funnily enough, the movie dropped 1995. The game didn't come out until August 25th of 1997, which was like 2 months, I think, before Tomorrow Never Dies. The follow-up to Goldeneye came out in the cinemas. So it was a little bit late to the party, but obviously the rest is history. The game is a classic. It's one of the all-timers. Yeah. So, all right, let's rock and roll on to question number 2. See if you can keep this momentum going. Before becoming the game we know and love today, GoldenEye 007, or GoldenEye 64, was a very different beast, modelled after a popular game from the 1990s. Which game are we talking about? So we're talking about the game that was originally sort of where it was going to pay homage and use a lot of the mechanics and the play style. So A, Virtua Cop, B, House of the Dead, C, X-Men vs Street Fighter, or D, Leisure Suit Larry?
I'd love to say Leisure Suit. Having played Virtua Cop in arcades as a kid, I'm probably going to have to go with that purely based on just the mechanics. I'm not too familiar with the other two, but yeah, I'm going to lock in A, Virtual Cop.
You're going to lock in A? Final answer?
Final answer, log it in.
All right. Consulting with the judges.
That is correct.
You are indeed correct. So the original plan for Goldeneye was going to be like an on-the-rail shooter. So just like a Virtual Cop or a Time Crisis and things like that before Martin Hollis and his then young team pivoted to a free-roaming shooter style. But there is still a lot of Virtual Cop influence there, such as gun reloading, position-dependent hit reaction animations, penalties for killing innocent characters, and an alternative aiming system that is activated upon pressing the R button of the Nintendo 64 controller.
Yeah. Even the crosshair is kind of Virtual Cop-ish.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah, it was a great game. Like that, I'd probably prefer it than House of the Dead as far as the arcade shooters, but so many of those sort of rail shooters in arcades, like there's no way in hell you can finish those with $1 or $1 or whatever you pay. Like, you know, they're money eaters, and you know I guess that's what they're there for, but it's just bullshit sometimes.
Oh, we've all been there. It
really is.
We've all been there and tried to get as far as we can with that one token, but yeah.
Yeah. The only game, and it's funny, I put it on this list, the only game I can sort of finish on one token typically is X-Men vs. Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom. That's the game I can run from front to back and complete, but all the other shooters, no way. I was at the arcade the other week and we were trying to play the Walking Dead shooter. We played the new I think it was Time Crisis 5. The Jurassic Park shooter, none of them. We could finish the first chapter and then you're dead.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
It's bonkers, yeah. Maybe those 8-bit coins might give you a few extra tries.
Maybe. Like they're big boys too. Like I don't know if you'd fit it through the coin slot.
Damn.
Like she's a big boy.
He's looking good.
Anyway, question number 3. Goldeneye is known primarily for its legendary multiplayer modes. Approximately how long did said modes take Rare to create? A, 6 minutes. B, 6 days. C, 6 weeks. Or D, 6 years.
I actually know this one because it was a bit of a trivia one, because they never actually intended to do multiplayer, and I think it was done it was a short amount of time. Did you say 6 weeks?
Yeah, 6 minutes, 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 years.
Oh, 6 days or 6 weeks? I'm going to say 6 weeks.
You're going to go C, 6 weeks?
Yeah, lock in C.
All right, let's lock in C. Judges, what you got for me?
I'm stupid, you're smart. I was wrong, you were right. You're the best, I'm the worst. You're very good looking, I'm not attractive.
You are indeed correct. 6 weeks' time, they turned out that multiplayer mode, which, was an afterthought. Like, it was completely unplanned, and then they pivoted well into the 2.5 year development cycle and chucked this thing together, and that's what made the game what it is today, really.
100%, man, yeah. I think if they didn't decide to do that, it would have just, it would have still been a good game, granted. But, that multiplayer, we've all got memories, screen cheating and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Simpler times, isn't it? The old local sort of split screen multiplayers and shooters, like where you got that honor system, but the other three you're versing. They're peeking out of the corner of their eye what you're up to.
Even though they say they're not, they always are.
Yeah, bunch of dogs. All right, question number 4. How many multiplayer characters are there in total to choose from?
Oh, man.
A, 35. B, 40. C, 47, or D, 420 blaze it.
Well, I could safely get rid of one of those. See, I only played through the single player recently, so this is going to have to go off muscle memory. And I know it was a lot.
Yeah, so you're looking at 35, 40, and 47. I'm guessing you're going to just scratch D from the list there.
I'm scratching D, and I'm going to lock in B as a wild guess.
You're going to go B. Remember, you got 2 lifelines. You don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to use them, but just letting you know they're there.
Oh, now he's wanting me to make maybe pivot to A. Maybe there wasn't as many as I remember.
You're going to pivot to A.
I'm locking in A.
You're going to lock in A?
Yep.
100%. Final answer?
Final answer.
All right. We are going to consult with the adjudicators on this one.
You lose. Good day, sir.
He actually went the other direction. It's actually 47.
Holy moly.
47 characters to choose from in the multiplayer. So there is an absolute bucket load of skins. But you can earn a bonus point here by naming at least 5 of them. They don't have to be exact like names. Some of them have names. Some of them just have like job descriptions and stuff like that.
All right.
But yeah.
Let's go for the bonus point. So we've got Odd Job.
Yep, there's one.
Can't forget him. You got Odd Job,
Yeah,
you got
fuck that
Jaws.
guy.
You got
Yep.
James Bond or 007.
Yep.
Natalia.
Yep.
And let's go Urumov.
There you go. There's the 5. That is indeed correct.
Beautiful.
That is correct.
Semi-redemption.
I would have accepted Moonraker Elite, male or female, Mayday, Moneypenny, naval officer, biker,
Terrorist? I know he was in
terrorist. I used to rock a lot of the Arctic Commando. He was my
Yeah.
guy I played with a fair bit.
there. Yeah, good skin.
Yeah, Dr. Doak, who was actually his likeness was based off one of the staff from Rare. Civilian, 2 civilian females and 5 civilian male skins. A couple of scientists, Siberian guards, St. Petersburg guards, Xenia Onatop, and a whole host of others. So yeah, 47 different
Holy
skins.
moly, yeah, they just chucked the whole bloody cast in there, didn't they?
They really did. They really did. Like they went in there like 6 weeks. Let's just throw as much as we can at it. Here we go. All right. So let's move on to question number 5. See if we can keep this rolling. You're still on track to come ahead of Salim the Dream. So that's a win in itself.
Sweet.
On the Bunker 2 level of the game's single-player campaign, one of Bond's objectives is to find a certain collectible or item. What is it? A. A novelty cocktail shaker. B. A VHS CCTV tape. C. A signed Denise Richards 8x10. Or D. An 8-bit founder's coin.
Oof. Oh, geez. The first 2, obviously. When you said bunker, I actually thought of Surface, and I was thinking, oh, this is for the key for the safe. But no, it's actually a VHS, so I'm going to lock in B.
You're going to lock in B, a VHS tape?
Yep, lock it in.
All right. What do we got here, referees? That is indeed correct. And funnily enough, the VHS CCTV tape, if you open up your Bond's inventory, it actually shows the cover of the Goldeneye film. So it's actually a copy of the Goldeneye movie itself. So it gets very meta.
Indeed
there.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, which is great. I love little Easter eggs and random things like that. So, mate, you're on fire. Only dropped that one question so far. Let's see how you go with question number 6. Which of these is not a difficulty level you can select in the single-player campaign? A. 007. B. Agent. C. Secret Agent. Or D. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, now you've been too easy. Yeah, it's definitely Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because you can actually select 007 once you complete the campaign in 00 Agent. So lock in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You're going to lock in D, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Lock it in.
All right.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right.
Well done. You are indeed correct. Obviously, we're talking, when we're mentioning S.H.I.E.L.D., we're talking about the Marvel universe as opposed to the James Bond universe. So, yeah, the difficulty levels go Agent, Secret Agent, 00 Agent, and then, 007. And with those difficulty levels, the levels themselves, like the levels you take on during the game, they change. So you've got additional requirements you need to address depending on the difficulty level. The threat level is higher. You take more damage, more enemies, so on and so forth. So it's got a good amount of replayability playing at a sort of at a harder level instead of just doing the one and done.
100%, yeah. And yeah, that was one of the things back in the day was going through and seeing if you can do all the missions through all the agents. So yeah.
Yeah, bit of a school brag at lunchtime there. If you take them all down on 007 difficulty, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I only did a couple levels at that hardest difficulty. The rest of it, I just mostly did it secret or 00, and then I'm like, no, it's too much.
Yeah,
I'm moving on.
Back to multiplayer.
I'm moving on. All right, yeah, back to multiplayer. Back to hiding in the bathrooms up in the air vents. All right, question number 7. How many different multiplayer modes are there playable in the game? A, 1. B, 4. C, 5. Or D, a baker's dozen?
This one's testing me brain. So there was a normal one, which was deathmatch.
Yep. So there's 1.
I'm trying to think if slappers only was just... That was just a weapon mode. So we got normal. We've got man with the golden gun. You had a capture the flag. That's only 3. You said 1, 4...
1, 4, 5, or a baker's dozen.
Oh, so we got 5. Normal. Man with golden gun. Capture the flag. I'm going to lock in 4. I think there's 4, but I can't remember what the last one is. But I remember there's those 3 that I've stated. And I can't think of another one on top of the other one that I'm thinking. So lock in 4.
You're going to go with 4?
Lock in 4,
So you're going to go with B4, final answer?
Lock in B, yep.
Remember, you got your lifelines.
I'm going to save them for now. I'll save them for the
rapid fire?
The rapid fire round, I reckon.
All right. What do we got here?
You suck.
Oh, don't tell me there's 5.
There is 5, but funnily enough, there's a bonus point up for grabs where you need to name at least 3 of those modes. So I do recall you naming 3, but do you want to give me them ones again, and then I'll give you the other 2 you missed?
So we got normal, man with the golden gun, and capture the flag. But I don't think it was called capture the flag.
Nah, it's called the Living Daylights, but flag tag is what it's known as. And then there's you only live twice and license to kill is the other 2 modes.
Man.
That's okay. You got the bonus point. You're still rocking and rolling. Don't worry too much. All right, we're moving on to question number 8 of rapid fire. There was an idea proposed by Rare early in the game's development cycle that would utilize the Rumble Pack in what particular way? A, to reload your gun. B, to use as a grenade. C, for pleasure, giddy up. Or D, as an egg timer.
I could probably actually think of a few people who've used it for pleasure.
It had some vibration in it. My goodness gracious.
Yeah. And I can think of why they would have dropped it if it was for throwing grenades. So I'm going to lock in reloading your weapon.
Okay, so you're going to go A, reloading your weapon?
Reload, yep.
All right. Judges, where are we at with this one?
You win.
Yes. I thought he was going to say you suck again.
No, we're going the Street Fighter instead of the Mortal Kombat there. So, yeah, the initial idea that was pitched and talked about with Rare was you'd grab the Rumble Pack off the back of the controller, click it out to disconnect as if you're replacing your clip and then putting it back in.
Interesting.
Which is, intense. No way would it have been successful in any way, shape or form. No. But it's cool that, Nintendo were doing quirky Nintendo things way back in the mid-90s. Yep. So, yeah. Can you imagine?
Oh.
Can you imagine that level of immersion?
I still think, the grenade one probably would have been all right. But a lot of TVs would have gone missing in the...
Yeah, you'd almost need to have a wrist strap on it, wouldn't you? And you sort of just picks up the little bloody Geo inside.
Maybe for the Wii days.
Yeah, that's it. Or Pokemon. We're seeing a little bit more of that with the Pokeballs now. Yep. Getting that gyro sensor in there, picking up where things are going. All right, we've got 3 more questions in multiple choice, and then we're moving into the rapid fire. But let's get this tune back on. During the level Control, if Bond kills Boris, Natalia will refuse to do what? A, touch Bond's golden gun. B, give Bond back the keys to his Jaguar. C, agree that the world is indeed enough. Or D, open the security door.
I'm going to have to lock in D, mate.
You're going to have to lock in D?
Yep, lock it in.
There's a very confident response there. Let's see if that was correct.
Flawless victory.
So yeah, if you kill Boris, Natalia throws her hands up. She's not going to release that security door, and then you end up failing the mission, which is interesting because her change of heart is a little bit selfish, as she's letting millions of people die at the hands of Janus just because she thinks Bond made a mistake.
Yeah.
So, cutting a nose off to spite a face type of thing. But it's cool that they had those types of wrinkles in the game where if you did go off the rails and kill someone you're not meant to, it forced you to restart. So, yeah. All right. 2 more questions. Now we're in rapid fire. Which of the following actors were not originally planned to be represented via the 4 save file image slots? A. Daniel Craig. B. Sean Connery. C. Roger Moore. Or D. Timothy Dalton. So what that's in reference to, listeners, is, you've got 4 dossier-shaped save files where you can have, 4 different playthroughs of the game going. And on the graphic, it shows Pierce Brosnan as, obviously, 007 on there as the graphical representation. But there were some plans to do something different with the other 3.
I don't know why I'm thinking so hard about this, because it's quite obvious. Because Daniel Craig wasn't the 007 by this time. So I'm going to have to lock in A.
I was wondering if you're going to get too deep on it or not. So let's see if that thought logic there was correct.
Man, that would have
I was going to list George Lazenby there, but I thought I'd just chuck the big old red herring in. If he doesn't pick up on this, I don't know what's going on.
Man, I would have been feeling stupid if I used a lifeline on that one.
So they wanted to utilize some of the previous Bond actors in Connery, Moore, and Dalton, because they also had plans to also use their likenesses as multiplayer skins, but couldn't get the permission to use their likenesses, so that idea was scrapped, and it was just 4 of the same image on the save slots of Pierce Brosnan. So what could have been? I would have loved to play the Sean Connery run around shooting
absolutely,
dudes.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
Alas,
the final question in multiple choice. As is tradition here at the Hunger Games Show, we must also take a moment to look at both the film and music industries. And more importantly, what finished as number 1 for the year GoldenEye 007, or GoldenEye 64 if you want, was released. So I ask you this, Mr. Tily, what was the top song on the Billboard charts? And what was the highest grossing movie at the domestic box office for 1997? So I'm going to do something a little differently with the domestic box office this episode, and it's just going to be what it grossed in that year only. So we're not talking about overall all-time earnings. We're talking about what was the biggest movie for 1997 only.
Right.
And obviously the biggest song.
Yep.
Okay, so A, Titanic and I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy, now known as P. Diddy, or I don't know, Sean Combs again. I don't know, he's something.
Who knows? He's the prince of hip-hop.
He is. But I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy in all his iterations. B, The Lost World Jurassic Park and Wannabe by Spice Girls. C, Men in Black and Something About the Way You Look Tonight / Candle in the Wind by Elton John. Or D, Face Off and I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly.
Oh, man. This is a hard one because I know Titanic is like one of the highest grossing films of all time.
Yeah, that's why I changed it to the year, because I thought it was a bit too easy if we went all time.
And Jurassic Park would have been pretty big in its time. But then again, Men in Black. But I don't know if Men in Black came out in 97.
All these movies did come out in 97,
okay.
So there's no swerves there. All these did release throughout the year of 1997.
Right, okay.
And all the songs too, so they're all released in the same year.
Right. And the song with Jurassic Park was...
Wannabe by Spice Girls.
Ooh, yeah, okay. Can we go phone a friend on this one?
Yeah, we can go phone a friend.
Sweet.
Stand by. I'm just going to interrogate the mainframe here. We're calling via Bluetooth today, as opposed to the Zoom link, just to make it easier. So let's see if we can get this young fellow on the phone. So before I call, you'll be able to hear him or her or it, but they don't think they'll be able to hear you.
Right.
So I'll sort of be the moderator, I guess you could say. So let's call and see if they pick up. very embarrassing if they don't answer. It's the risk recording midweek.
Hello?
Oh, is that... I know NATO. NATO J, the DM with the plan. My bestest bud. Is that you?
Depends. What do you need?
Oh, mate, we need your guidance. I'm calling you up. You are Nathan Tilly's Phone My Friend today. We are battling Goldeneye, 1997 Nintendo 64 classic, and we've gotten stuck on question 11 of the multiple choice. But funnily enough, it's not a question to do with the game itself. It's to do with movies and songs. So hopefully that memory of yours plays pretty strongly. What do you remember about 1997?
Fuck all.
Well, not off to the best start, but I'll put a little bit of background music on first, and I'll give you the question.
Yes.
So this question, NATO, is where we're looking for the highest grossing movie and the number one song of the Billboard charts for that year. So we're talking about what was the movie that made the most money in 1997 only, so not overall since then to now, and also what was the song that ended up at the top of the charts. So does that question make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so your first option is Titanic and the song I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy. Option B is The Lost World, Jurassic Park, and Wannabe by Spice Girls. Option C is Men in Black and Something About the Way You Look Tonight / Candle in the Wind by Elton John. And D is Face Off and I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly.
Okay, so highest grossing movie in 1994.
No, 1997. 97.
Oh,
and
okay.
Just that year only. Like Nathan brought up a very good point that he said Titanic's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. So we're just looking at 1997 only. So what did they make in that year?
Oh.
Nath, where are you leaning?
Oh.
Where are you feeling?
I'm still a bit confused on this one, and I still want to sway towards Titanic, to be honest, but I don't know about P. Diddy.
Yeah, Titanic's a good pick, but is it like the red herring?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Because when he said, of just that year, that's what threw me off.
So what was the song with Titanic?
I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy, which was a banger. It was an absolute clapper of a track.
Still is a banger, yeah.
That was a... Ooh, I don't know that song, though. Like, I know the song, but I don't know how that song did.
So, obviously, then you've got, Wannabe by the Spice Girls, so their debut track that just went boom. Spice Mania and all that stuff, if that's what they called it. I'll have to ask the kids on that. Elton John having a bit of a resurgence there with the double track. And then R. Kelly, peak R. Kelly before he's piddling on kids in closets, where he believes he can fly on the back of Space Jam.
See, that's huge too. And the Elton John's throwing me off as well, because if he's sort of making a comeback at that time, I
thought he'd be number one.
You think he'd be number one?
Yeah, absolutely. But what's the movie with that one?
Men in Black. So Men in Black 1.
No, Men in Black was good, but it didn't hop his way. I'm going Titanic. Let's go Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy.
So NATO thinks Titanic and Puff Daddy. Nath, what are you thinking? You gonna follow your lifeline here, or are you gonna go somewhere else?
Mate, because my lifeline's a fellow West Australian, I'm gonna have to go with him.
Yep.
Okay. Hang on, here's this too.
Here we go.
Remember, you've got a second lifeline. I've never said you could double them up before, but if you're feeling crazy, you can chuck a strong hint on the back of this.
Don't do this to us, Brendan, because then you're going to split it between Titanic and Elton John. I know you are.
Yeah.
But Men in Black. I don't know, NATO. I don't think Diddy was as big as Elton John. That's what's throwing me.
Yeah, and then Titanic, but did it pop later or did it pop that year? No, every fucking girl I knew went to see Titanic that year.
Yeah, multiple
Hardly
times.
anyone I knew went and saw fucking Men in Black.
I went and saw Men in Black.
Yeah, you would.
It's a great movie.
It was a
It's
great
one of
movie.
Will Smith's best.
Yeah, but you go see everything, so that's not really a scale of
Yeah,
if
all
it's
right.
good or bad.
You got me there.
But he's also thrown in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, the sequel.
Yeah, but it was Lost World.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's with handsome. That's when Vince Vaughn was handsome. Like he played the leading handsome man in that movie, which is something you never see Vince Vaughn do.
I think we're overthinking this too much. Maybe we should go with Elton John.
Titanic. Oh, okay. All right.
What are you thinking, man? The
I
choice
still
is
think
yours.
Titanic.
So
Yeah.
NATO's going A, Titanic, and I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy. You're now leaning towards Men in Black and the Elton John double single release.
Well, I can't go against my lifeline. It'd be a waste of calling him to begin with. So let's just go Titanic.
Oh, no.
You got the strong hint there too, or the 50-50, remember?
Nah,
so
I'm going with NATO. I trust him.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're locking in Titanic and I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy. Did this end up in your favor or not?
The price is wrong, bitch.
Man, don't say Elton John.
It was indeed Men in Black and Elton John on the basis, yes, Titanic made a lot of money, but it only came out in the second last week of December. So it only had 2 weeks to run that year.
Oh, you dirty, dirty, dirty boy.
Yeah, so it actually came in at number 5 overall in the box office with 157 million in those 2 weeks.
Wow.
Men in Black was number 1 with 251 million. Jurassic Park was number 2 with 229 million. And Face Off, just wanted to reference it because it's a great action film with a couple of unique actors in Travolta and Cage, came in at number 9 with 112 million.
I just want to take your face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We should have gone with Elton John. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. I convinced myself, and then Titanic drew me back. I knew it was a red herring. God damn it! I should have listened to myself.
Yeah, you could have used that other lifeline, but
Friggin'
like, and
Brendan.
obviously on the back of the Elton John success too, that was the same year. Obviously, Princess Di passed away, and that was when that song came
Yeah,
out.
that was why. Yeah, it was the song for the Princess Di bloody funeral.
There we
Yeah.
go. And I know for a fact that you would have split those two. So
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a big jerk like that.
I am a big jerk, but yeah, NATO, thank you for throwing your insight into the ring here. Sadly, didn't pay off this time, but mate, we'll get back on the horse and keep rocking and rolling. But
I still appreciate
sure to
it,
follow.
NATO. Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, and yeah, we should. I'm sorry for leading us down the wrong path. That's as I do with everybody in my life.
That's all right, mate.
I've come out good so far, but I guess there's still time to change. But yeah, we'll see. But mate, follow NATO at I know NATO on all them socials. Thanks again for jumping on and throwing your insight, man. Have a good rest of your Friday morning. I'll chat to your fine self later.
No worries.
Cheers,
Bye.
NATO.
Bye. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
What a curveball. Man.
Yeah.
At the end of the year.
Yep.
See, I wouldn't have known that because, as I said, I was only, 9 back then? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Titanic. Yeah, obviously it's gone on to earn like billions over the years, but
I don't know why.
Yeah. It is a kind of like I'm a sucker for a good romance movie, but like Titanic just doesn't really do it for me.
And it
Never has.
just drags. So, yeah, not for me. It's a no from me.
Yeah, but those other 3 movies we mentioned on there, fantastic films.
100%.
So that brings us to the end of multiple choice. Would you like a progress score update to know where you're at right now, or do you want to go in blind for the rest of it and come out at the other side with your final score? I'll leave it up to you.
Let's go in blind, mate.
Let's go in blind. All right. Remember, you still do have your 50-50, which now becomes a strong hint for rapid fire.
Yep.
We've got a good smattering of rapid fire questions. Let's change up the tunes a little bit and get into it. Question number 1. How many levels are there in the single player campaign?
20 if you include the 2 extras.
That is correct, and I was including them. What is the name of the default controller setting?
Oh, God. I know it's named after all the girls. Is it Moneypenny?
Do you want to have another pass at that? It's something that is very sweet. And it's something I actually consume a little bit of this every time before I record a podcast. or I have a long day of presentations.
Oh, God. Strong hint. Lifeline.
Okay. It is made by yellow and black insects.
Don't say honey. It's got to be honey.
Yeah, it's honey.
Damn.
It's honey based off Honey Rider from Dr. No.
Honey, yeah.
All right, question number 3. If I wanted to strafe, which button or buttons would I press on the Nintendo 64 controller to do so?
C left or C right?
That is correct. Which gun has the largest clip size in the game?
RCP-90.
That is correct. And for a bonus point, let's not included, but because you answered that so confidently, how many bullets in said clip?
80 rounds.
Damn, nicely done. Okay, you are correct on both fronts. And that's followed by the Phantom with 50. If I was to use the code DK mode within cheat options, what would happen?
Every time someone gets shot, their head gets bigger.
Yeah,
Is that
so
right?
they get a little bit of...
Or is it every time you kill someone, your head gets bigger? Oh, it's a hard one.
D-
Or is everyone's head
DK
just big?
Mode, DK mode is where you and characters sort of have a bit of a weird, like, Donkey Kong resemblance to each
I
other.
know their heads are massive. That's all I remember.
Yeah. I'll give you a half point for that because
point.
it is a bit of both.
Yep.
I'm feeling giving today, this Friday. All right, question number 6. What console was the game originally intended to be released on?
Super Nintendo?
Correct. It was originally proposed to be a 2D side-scroller. So that would have been a whole different ballgame. All right, next question. True or false? There is a reference to every Bond film, obviously not including as yet unreleased films within the game.
True.
That is correct. What score does Goldeneye currently hold on Metacritic?
96?
That is correct.
Oh, man.
Well done. Good deep
I
pull
didn't think it was
there.
too
Okay.
high, but yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Regardless of the character you select in multiplayer mode, what one thing will always remain the same?
Oh, I know this one. Their hands. I don't know why.
That is
they're
correct. They
the same
all
hands.
use James Bond's hands, regardless if you're male, female, or got gloves. They're all running the James Bond hand
I
archetype.
know that from
so
the
is indeed
slappers
correct.
only.
Yeah. All right, next question. The soldiers and henchmen you encounter throughout the game are created to resemble whom? Or are modeled after whom?
The development team, I think.
That is correct. Yeah, they're based off rare staff. And rare, not as in rare people, like the developers rare, or rareware back in the day. So, yeah. All right, question number 11. Where does Goldeneye rank on the all-time bestseller list for Nintendo 64 titles?
Ooh, it's up there. I think it goes Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart, or those two might be. It's number 3. I think it's number 3.
You going number 3?
Yep.
That is correct. It's actually only behind Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64.
Oh.
Zelda slots in at number 4.
Oh.
But you got there. You got the 3. So that's what matters
Ocarina
here.
of Time was up the top. There you go.
See, not as many people care about Zelda as the world makes out. You know, I'm the resident Zelda fence sitter.
No, fair enough.
All right, question number 12. While Rare handed off the licensing for the Bond series after this release, the company also produced what is often considered GoldenEye 007's spiritual successor. What game am I talking about?
Have to be Perfect Dark. It's like the exact same game.
That is correct. Yeah, it's funnily enough, we talked about Perfect Dark offline before we started recording.
Yep.
All right, the next question. How many different types of mine are there to use in the game?
Ooh.
So we're talking about like explosive devices here, mines, not as in a mine with a pickaxe farming for gold.
You got remote, proximity, and timed. But you also get like charges. I'm going to say 3 mines.
That's correct, yeah.
Sweet.
3 mines, timed, proximity, and remote. Yep. Next question. Outside of armor, is there any other way to recover health?
No.
You can say outside of vests, armor, whatever you want.
I'm going to say no.
That is correct.
Sweet.
Only bulletproof vests will keep you alive if you are taking shots during the game. All right. Next question. If you were to select this character in multiplayer, you would be called a dirty effing dog. Which character am I referring to?
It's got to be Odd Job.
It is indeed our job. Obviously, we're going to bring him up because he is the shortest statured character in the game. And just by, I guess, where your crosshairs sit by default, if you're shooting, you would miss this little bugger because he falls under that threshold. So it gives you a very unfair playing advantage.
I think they actually proved it. If you're using him, it's cheating.
Yeah,
So,
it's
dirty
dirty.
dog. Dirty dog.
It's dirty. I'm a bit upset that you can't throw his hat in the game, though. I think that would have been a great little addition.
Hats
but
only,
anyway,
maybe.
hats only. And the last question, good sir, for the rapid fire round and this episode of THGS, give me your best James Bond impression.
Oh. The name's Bond.
I'm going to stop the music to let it go.
All right. The name's Bond. James Bond.
I will indeed pay that.
I don't know which Bond that was, but it just came off the top of my head, so.
I think it felt a little bit Connery, but mixed with your own flavour. So, Sean Tily we got there going on. So, man, that brings us to the end of the Hungry Games show from an official capacity. Would you like to know where you finished up on the leaderboards? So, you were concerned about beating Salim the Dream Abraham on 21 points.
I have a feeling after that rapid fire, I've just surpassed Salim, so I'm feeling good. Maybe mid-tier.
You certainly surpassed Salim and then some. So Salim was on 21 points. You finished above him. If we were to jump up a handful more to say where Miss Ali Hart and Jack Cruz were on equal ninth on 30, you're above them.
Oof. Sorry, Ali.
If we're to jump up to equal sixth, which saw Australia's John O'Peck and Jared Trail on 32.5 points, you're above them. So you're above sixth place at the moment. In current outright fourth place is 34.5 points, and obviously Dane Peavy sitting at the top on 37 points. We'll let my friends at Hall & Oates play out to see if you beat Dane or not, and go from there.
Oh.
You were extremely close, but have managed to fall into equal fourth now with Benny McJanet on 34.5 points.
That's okay. I'm happy with that.
Mate, that is a ripper of a score. Like, you really cut up that rapid fire. Like, I don't know if that's a sign of me just putting in easier questions or you like... But, like, there was some certainty in there, like, especially the largest clip size with the RCP-90. That was nice, and you got a sneaky extra point out of that due to the confidence in delivering that. But, man, 34.5, how you feeling about that?
Oh, mate, stoked. Absolutely stoked. And, yeah, that RCP-90 was, like, the only gun I used in multiplayer. So, I couldn't get that one wrong. But, yeah, absolutely stoked. I mean, obviously would have liked to be up there with Dane, but, as I said, I didn't want to knock him off the top, so I think... finished at a real nice spot, yeah.
Yeah, like when we first started, you were just concerned about getting above or near 21 because you hadn't played this game in quite some time.
Yeah.
And yet here you are now sitting in equal fourth on the totem pole here, which I think's a hell of a bloody effort considering the time between drinks and playing this game.
Man, and as I said, I only played the solo on that emulator, and yeah, it didn't really help me much. But yeah.
Well, it helped a little, I think, because
yeah.
you came through here. You came through. But, man, that brings us to the end of the episode. Anything you want to say, or maybe the floor is yours for plugs or anything you want to shout out before we shut down the studio for another time?
Nah, mate. I mean, yeah, if you guys want to, if any listeners want to check out some of our stuff, yeah, jump on over to Can't Game Podcast. We have been, as I said, we've been on hiatus and we have been a bit quiet, but yeah, we're looking at getting in behind the mics again and recording a few more episodes, but yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, no, and that's I know the Instagram is can't.game.podcast. I don't know if you've got your own Twitter for the pod as well.
No, we just had our separate handles, but yeah, if you want to find me, I'm usually Tillhouse_ on Instagram. That's my main base.
Yep.
I do jump on Twitter from now, but yeah, jump on Instagram if you want to follow me. mostly spam about my cars and my bikes, but yeah, every now and then I talk about games.
Mate, it's a good follow, and yeah, just keep your eyes and ears peeled for when Can't Game Podcast comes back, because it's a good flavour of banter. It's sort of, similar tone to a lot of the shows that we do at 8-Bit, so it's got that similar vibe. So if you like what we do, you're going to love what they do as well. So, but man, thanks for taking the time out of your Friday to jump in the studio here and share some insight on yourself, but also a bit of GoldenEye 64 or GoldenEye 007. Love.
Yeah, mate, thanks for having me. It's been awesome. It's always
anytime.
Yeah, I've always been listening to you guys, so it's a bit of a dream just to talk with you. So yeah, it's good,
mate. Easy. We'll get you on THG in the next couple of months as well, and we can talk some gamer news and share insights on the respective shows. So
yeah, I'd love that, mate. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, listeners, thanks again for tuning in, stopping on by. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe us on all those podcast players of choice, because it helps keep those emotional lights on in our hearts. If you want to support us monetarily, feel free to do so over at kofi.com/we are8bit. But if you don't want to support or can't support monetarily, that's more than fine. Just, listen to our stuff, share our content, interact on the socials. That's all that matters. So, follow myself at Brendan8bit. Follow Nathan at Tillhouse_ or at Tillhouse on them Twitters, and follow us all as a collective at We Are 8-Bit. But until next time, 8-Bit Nation, may your answers be true.
Stay hungry.
Yeah.